409 The Heat Sports presents Mad Sports. I am your host, David Hicks, and my co-host, as always,
Richard James.
It's a good week here.
It is.
In not Green Bay.
You got green shirt.
But smells a bit cheesy in here tonight.
Yeah, as far as we can all wear hats.
That's true, we
on this
can.
show. I have my own hat.
I'm glad you did.
But you know what? We don't wear hats of losers this week, so Astros, sorry.
Well, that's not
Dropped it.
true. They could win by the
They
time
could
this
win by a
airs.
show, but not tonight they didn't.
It's good I have a hat on of
2-2.
some
Oh,
people that
keep
did win.
Lamar University, winners.
They did win. That's
They
true.
win.
That's true. And you're not. Where's all the uniform and everything? Shouldn't you have a Troy Aikman bib
We're just
on or
talking
something
winners
like that right
tonight.
now? Oh,
Winners
just talking
only.
winners.
We're talking winners.
Well, in that case,
This show's a winner.
how's it look, fellas?
The
Cheese
cheese
head. This
is not
an
a winner.
official cheese head. It's a good week.
Yeah.
It's a good week.
We have our bandwagon fan over here. Last week it was the Saints.
Green Bay is
This
my
week,
team, bro.
That's what you said for the Saints last week. It was the
Green Bay
Panthers.
is my squad.
What happened to the
dog.
Panthers?
Man, look.
You've got to choose.
I don't understand.
I
this,
could
man.
go through the season and be like, oh, Patriots won this week. Patriots.
I don't know what you're talking about, Richard. Every week I'm like, look, Green Bay has been one of my favorite teams growing up. What'd you talk about Fanatics last? Because we were look. I saw Green Bay on TV when I was 4, and Brett Favre.
I saw Green Bay when I was 4.
There's some other players they had back in the day. I've been a Green Bay fan. This is definitely mine. This is not Melody Cash's. Thank you very much. Shout out to the Cashes, who are big Green Bay fans, just like myself. Why would this even fit me if this wasn't mine?
You found the only Green Bay fan in Southeast
Are
Texas.
you kidding me? This Green Bay shirt I bought, it's the reflective. Come on. Look, we'll get into the game because I'm
talk
not
the game.
I'm not going to argue I'm not going to argue. In fact, I'm just not going to argue with you about it, okay?
Go for it.
Let's get into the game here at Mad Sports.
What do you
We
have
got the
here?
new logo and everything.
It looks
Shout out
good.
to Rose Gold Designs for our new special logo. This is Mad Sports, and I'm your host, David. Green Bay Packers, been my number one team since I was a kid, Hicks.
Bandwagon fan.
Let's talk
Hicks.
about them. To be honest, I thought you had a chance, man. Third and fourth quarter, I saw a different Dallas team come out.
You were looking at, they were poised to come back with the biggest comeback in NFL history.
Yeah, they were.
If your man hadn't turned into the MMA on Gallup and grabbed him by the head.
Oh, here we go. You're gonna go to that excuse. We're gonna go calls. Let's just get into stats. It's 34-24. Aaron Rodgers was really not that
Mediocre.
great. 22 for 34 for 238 yards and 0 touchdowns.
Yeah, you're talking about the wrong Aaron. He's not the one that carried.
So Aaron Jones,
That's the Aaron.
his younger brother,
Yeah.
19 attempts,
Dallas, you've got to get it together.
107 yards, which is not a big yardage runs, but 4 touchdowns. 4. Dak was 27 for 44 for 463 yards and 2 touchdowns. But the glaring thing that hurt Dak throughout the game was the 3 interceptions.
It was.
And
Two
they
of them
were-
weren't really his fault, but
Well, one of them was
one of them
definitely
was
a pass
definitely-
interference.
Yes.
Even as big a Green Bay fan as I am, I'll give him that. And you can tell from the cheesehead. You know, the one thing that glared out to me about Dallas? The running game. The first couple weeks,
Non-existent.
we were talking about how good this running game was. These 2 backs, how
But they
good
did
they
have
were.
Tyron Smith missing from the line, and then another injury in the middle of the game where they had to sub in.
Zeke only
the
ran
rookie.
62 yards.
I know.
Pollard ran 19 yards. I ran 19 yards in the parking lot earlier. Now, I'm tired, but I still ran just as many
But
yards.
for the record, Zeke did almost double his output from last week, so
Which is-
we're trending in the right direction.
That's
I was going to be optimistic. I'm going to put the
yeah,
jersey
you know
on,
what?
'cause
See,
we're-
that's why I feel uncomfortable right now
true fan.
I got all my good fan stuff that I have had since I was a youth that still
Come on,
fits
Aikman.
me.
You can come back.
You
Take
might
us
need
back.
him.
Take us back.
What? I'm going to break down quarterbacks for us later, and actually, I'm going to give you, boy, a little praise. Not right now because I am in my own Green Bay Packers gear that I've had my whole life since I was a youngster. And I've
yesterday.
always been a Green Bay Packer fan. Yesterday, dude, I got this on Monday. Long time
Monday.
ago is when we bought it, on a Monday. I remember it like it was yesterday. Anyway, that's enough reminiscing. Look, Dallas is now 3-2. The funny thing about Cowboys fans to me, yes, the Cowboys haters love to talk about Cowboys more than their own teams.
True.
I've seen it all the time. You see it on Facebook. You see it everywhere. But Dallas Cowboy fans, you bring a little bit on yourself when there's already a petition going around to get rid of Garrett. Like, they're already signing fire Jason
Glad
Garrett.
you mentioned that because Lincoln Riley's waiting in the wings. He's right.
5
Come on,
games.
Lincoln Riley coming in.
5 games ago, we were going Super Bowl, right? Sarah, hey, maybe not you.
We're still going there.
Okay, see? It was Super Bowl. They were on every channel. We're going here. Now, all of a sudden, 3-2.
Although,
came back down to earth.
speaking of Garrett, I did like seeing him get emotional in the game because it shows he wants to win.
Dude,
Instead of just being a clapper and
when
smiling
he
the whole
threw
time,
down-
he actually threw down the.
when
He's
he
fired
threw
up.
that red challenge flag on the ground, it was the best arm I'd seen all day. And we'll be right back with Mad Sports here on 409 The Heat Sports. And we're back. 409 The Heat Sports presents Mad Sports. So Dallas Green Bay was a big game. Green Bay, I'm still not sold on their 4-1, but they did get the job done.
They got the W.
Let's
That's
talk
what
about
counts.
another local Texas team. The Texans
Looked really good.
looked really good. They beat the Falcons, which the Falcons scared me a little bit, even though they're 1-4 and they're not the Falcons like
They
it's
still
Atlanta.
have talent and speed.
They have a ton of talent and speed. And for Houston to put up 53 points in an NFL game, period, is something.
Well, Deshaun Watson's a fantastic quarterback, and the line came together a little bit, which was helpful.
28 for 33 for 426 yards, 5 touchdowns, 4 rushes for 47 yards. Fuller with a huge day receiving with 14 receptions for 217 yards and 3 touchdowns. The key difference, last week, Bill O'Brien on my trash pile.
Exactly.
Did not pick him up yet because the offensive coordinator, Tim Kelly, called the plays this week. You tell me if it's a coincidence that the week he calls plays, they score 53 points and have Watson just have a huge
Yeah.
game.
You need to let the coaches coach.
Let the
So,
coaches
as a head
coach.
coach, you need to know where your talent is. So
They had-
maybe Bill's learning.
They had 592 total yards in offense. They were 426 passing yards, 166 rushes. They were yards per play was 8.8. They almost had a first down every play. 76% on third down conversion. To me, it was just a all-around the best game they've easily had. Now, you take it with a grain of salt. It was Atlanta.
It was Atlanta.
It was Atlanta, but
But a W's a W, and
they're looking at
They're
3-2, and they're leading the division
exactly.
right now. There's some other big games we had. My Carolina Panthers
Oh, McCaffrey.
started 0-2, and now they're 3-2, and it's not from Allen. Let's just say it. 17 for 30 for 181 yards and 1 touchdown.
But McCaffrey's playing like an all-time, greatest of all-time running back right now. He's breaking every record in the record book if he stays on this path.
19 attempts for 176 yards, 2 touchdowns. He averaged 9.3 yards a carry. Every time he touched the ball, first down.
It's ridiculous.
Every time he touched
Every
the ball, he
time.
had a first down. Then he had 6 receptions for 61 yards and another touchdown. Feed him the ball.
They are, and it's working.
running back get paid.
Yeah.
Because running backs are that type of player within 3-4 years could be nothing. So you better get it while you can. The workhorse right now.
Yeah, right now McCaffrey, in my opinion, top in the league as far as running backs on just his stats that he's put out this year.
We got to give props where props is due, even though we're not talking picks. Our head executive producer, Mr. DJ Mann, who's always behind the scenes, picked this himself. The big upset.
He did.
Colts over the Chiefs, 19-13. Now, I will say this. Mahomes looked like a different player after he was stepped on.
Well, true, but also Kansas City's line didn't hold really well. The Colts dominated. Their defense was strong.
22 for 39, 321 yards, 1 touchdown. Mahomes, we're talking about, was the 5th player in NFL history with 300-plus pass yards in his first 5 games, matching Kurt Warner, Steve Young, Peyton Manning, and Matt Ryan. He passed Joe Montana with the 4th most passing yards through the first 5 games with 1,700. Mahomes, seemingly out of nowhere, from Sesame Street to the league, because he does look like a Muppet. I'm just saying, if you don't agree, then you're not watching the same football I am. But anyway, just out of nowhere has just become a player in this league.
Yeah, he's on his way to Canton at this point.
Maybe.
If he continues this, there's no denying.
What's this? How many years in the league now? This
what,
is
2?
2? Yeah. To go MVP and then just to come right back.
Come back and.
I've been impressed. Any games that stood out to you that you just were impressed by as far as I know that San Francisco wins again, Patriots win again.
Yeah, the Raiders, in my opinion, that's an about face.
It is an about face.
Yeah, they're coming together as a team.
And overseas game, too. Those are hard games to win. I was real impressed. Of course, the Patriots win again. Nothing too much impressive there, although Brady does become the 3rd most passing yards. He passes far for 3rd on the list in their 33-7 game against Washington. He's now got 71,000 passing yards. Somebody made a comment earlier on Facebook I saw about how he's basically a trash quarterback, and I was like, okay. Even if he's not your number 1 all time, if he ain't in your top 3, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, the numbers don't lie.
Yeah, numbers don't lie. And then, are the 49ers for real?
I'm saying yes. I'm going. I picked them.
They're 4-0
last week. They're 4-0, and the way they performed against the Browns, although the Browns are regressing, they're a disaster. So you can't take that as a true mark of how good they really are yet. But there are just some things I saw on defense. Richard Sherman back there. Some others, they're playing as a team. They have some energy.
They are playing as a team. They look like a new unit. The one thing I will say is they really haven't played anybody. If you break down the stats of the teams that they played.
But you could say the same about the New England Patriots.
Well, yeah, same thing. That's what I'm saying.
Both teams, you
have to
play,
beat who's
you
in
play
front
your
of you.
schedule.
Yeah, you got to be who's in front of you.
You play strong against the ones you're supposed to dominate.
I think you'll find out in the next 4 games if San Francisco is as for real as we think they
I agree.
are. But I am with you. I kind of think they're for real.
I'm backing it up this week. I'll tell you right now, I've already put the 49ers down as my pick.
Okay.
So I'm going to stand behind it.
Okay.
Don't let me down, Garoppolo.
Slow down, Turbo. We're not there yet. Okay. Let me break down a little something for you, and I want your opinions on this. These are 4 different quarterbacks. 69.6% completion, 69.2% complete rate, 63.1, 65.6.
Must be talking about Brady and Mahomes.
1,600 yards passing, 1,300 yards passing, 1,400 yards passing, 1,800 yards passing, 11 touchdowns, 11 touchdowns, 10 touchdowns, 11 touchdowns. 4 quarterbacks I'm talking about, the 2 you picked already, which are pretty much no-brainers, Brady and Mahomes. But I thought it was a little different and a little, I don't even know the word I'm looking for now because I still have Green Bay on my head. Dak and Deshaun are the other 2 quarterbacks right there.
Hey, Texas, way to go.
Deshaun Watson, Dak Prescott. have almost better numbers in areas than Brady and Mahomes right now. They both have a higher completion rating percentage, 69 and 69. Dak actually has the second most yards behind Mahomes. Yeah, go ahead, break it out. And he has more touchdowns than Brady. So, that being said, going forward, you got to get Brady out of there, of course.
Right.
Because we're talking next 5 to 6 years. Brady, well, I say that. Brady can play another 5 to 6 years.
Exactly.
He gets you 3 Super Bowl appearances. But let's take Brady out of the equation.
Okay.
Let's say Brady's the old guard. He's not going to be there anymore. Dak, Deshaun, or Mahomes, who do you take over the next 5 to 10 years as your franchise quarterback?
Mahomes for sure. That's no question. He's the most athletic, the best arm. He's the youngest. I mean, it's.
Cowboy Nation, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You gotta go with where the talent is.
But
the Cowboys would love to have Mahomes. I'm sure.
This just shows you how smart of a man he is. That he will put
and Deshaun Watson would be second.
Oh,
just laying it out there.
Well, he used to be Dallas Cowboy James, but now, look.
Dak is a good field general, but if you're going off athletic talent.
But if you want to win the war, you can't just lead his army. He's got to lead all the armies. That's what you're saying. Look, I'm right there with you. Right now, Deshaun, to me, doesn't have the body of work because of the team around him.
Right. If he had a better line, we could get a better assessment of how good he really can be.
If you can go all three, though, I would. I'd go Mahomes. And then, as of right now, Dak edges out Deshaun a little bit in my book.
You're being cut off. That's enough talk from you.
As of right now, Dak just edges out Deshaun just slightly, but it's a very close race right there. And when we get back, I've got a very interesting trash pile this week.
I can't wait.
And we're going to break down the picks. It's 409 The Heat Sports. It's Mad Sports, and we'll be right back. And we are back. 409 The Heat Sports presents Mad Sports. I am David Hicks.
And Richard James.
And it is one of my favorite segments.
Mine too. This is very entertaining.
David's Trash of the Week. I'm going to start off with a team I'm actually going to pick later, so I'm going to make sure where I throw this team, I can go get them later. But look, they're 0-4. The quarterback had mono. The other dude had the Ebola virus. They got all kinds of problems. New York Jets, you are first on my Trash of the Week. The Bengals. Well, I'm sorry, Cincinnati. I've heard it's a beautiful town, but I wouldn't know because they're over here in our Trash of the Week.
There goes the red rifle.
Now, look, this team was on a bye, and usually I'm a little nicer to bye teams, but they are good bye in my opinion. The Miami Dolphins did nothing over that bye week to make me think that they would not be off my David's Trash of the Week.
I got you, Miami. We'll
Look,
get you later.
It's not just undefeated teams or teams with no losses. They get on these no wins. They get on this trash pile. Pittsburgh, you still on the pile, man.
Take it easy. Rudolph got knocked out.
That's why they're there. And you want to know why? Because the cart didn't even work. This isn't the team I'm putting over there. This is the medical cart ends up on my trash pile of the week. How you going to have your starting QB get knocked out the game and your cart doesn't work? They had to push the cart
and carry him out.
They had to bring a different cart out for the medical cart. This is the Pittsburgh Steelers medical cart. Trash pile of the week. Falcons. You come into Houston.
Their wings have been clipped.
You have all the intangibles. You have all the weapons. The only thing you don't have is pick up on Trash Thursdays because right now you're still over here in the Trash of the Week. Denver. What do I keep saying? There's a marijuana problem in Denver. Who cares? They still
I'm
on my
sorry, Denver.
trash
I know you
pile.
won, but
Beautiful town.
it's just
Beautiful people. But right now, trash of the week. Now, this next team gets 3 separate trashes of the week. First, I'm going to go with those Washington Deadskins. You ought to like that because you're a Cowboys fan.
I'm okay with this pick.
So, Washington's 0-5.
Leave them there. Let's
With-
go 0-16.
With no hope on the horizon. Like in The Lion King, when Mufasa looks out onto the light and he says, all that the light touches is the Pride Land. Well, Dad, what's that dark area over there? You know what he told Simba? He's like, that's Washington, son. We don't go over to the Redskins because they're in David's trash pile of the week. Now I got to get to their coach. Excuse me. Their former coach, Jay Gruden. Just because your last name is of a champion doesn't mean you have carryover. Jay Gruden, I'm just going to say it like this. He said if his key works
Fired
on Monday that he would still be having a job. Well, the first trash is Jay Gruden's key ends up in my trash of the week because it didn't work on Monday. He did like you do at Holiday Inn when you have it next to your credit card and you go in there, it's red light, and you do it again, it's red light, and you always try a third time, red light. No, you got to go all the way back down, get you a new key card, go all the way back.
The Redskins aren't issuing new key cards.
They are not issuing key cards, and so Jay Gruden's key card is over there in the trash of the week.
And tell you how bad the trash is, old Lincoln Riley doesn't even want to consider that job.
Doesn't even want to consider
He's like, I'll
the
stay in
job.
Oklahoma.
Look, so if his key ended up on the trash pile, then himself has to go over
He
there.
has to go try to find it.
Jay Gruden, you got to go get your key over there because I need to know one thing. As Smokey would say, how you going to get fired on your day off? Jay Gruden, you got fired on your day off. Craig, you go over there in my trash of the week. So, the trash is over with. Let's get into next week's picks here on Mad Sports because,
Let's do it.
hey, my picks have come off the pile and been resurrected like the Undertaker. That's what I'm talking about.
All right, let's
Get the
do
sit-up
this.
going, looking like Tyson Fury in this mug. Let's go.
We'll start with Thursday's game. Giants at Patriots.
I'm going Patriots. Until they let me down, I've got to go Patriots.
It's the odds are good there. We're both Patriots. Panthers at Buccaneers.
At 8:30 in the morning, the before church game, overseas. Carolina's on a nice little run right now. The Buccaneers don't scare me a bit.
Run is the key word, McCaffrey.
Run, 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 run to the yo. That's what I need him to do all night, all morning, whatever time it is over there. Just
both
run
Panthers.
for me. We're both going Panthers.
Obviously.
Let's do it.
Redskins from the trash pile versus Dolphins from the trash pile.
This is my trash game of the week, but Dolphins are coming off a bye.
They are.
Even though I said goodbye to them and I threw them into the pile, I am hoping they resurrect themselves. They can't lose them all, can they?
That's my opinion as well. I'm going Dolphins, partly because I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'd like to see the Redskins lose again. And
You
they're
said
in
it. You want to see them
complete
go
disarray. I'd like to see them go
No
to a
coach.
complete failure. So I'd like to see Dolphins pick up a win, not going 0-16 after taking so much.
I'm going Ace
ridicule.
Ventura's Dolphins. Let's go.
Because we saw the players have really stepped up and given a hard effort. So
Yeah.
it'd be nice to see them take a victory.
I'll go Dolphins with you.
Eagles at Vikings.
Eagles at the Vikings.
This was a tough one.
This was a tough one to me too, but I'm going Minnesota. I believe in that defense. I think
I could see that.
I think the Eagles are not as strong as what people thought they were going into preseason. I'm going Vikings.
I'm going to go the Eagles.
I love it. Finally.
So we have a different choice there. Now this next one, Texans versus Chiefs. I'm going with the
I'll let you go first,
Okay.
so I'm not copying.
Sure, I'm going Texans. I'm going to stand behind the Texans and go for it.
I'm going Texans too.
Are you?
I
Okay.
really am. I thought about
going-
this game long
I did
and
too.
hard.
I was back
It's
and forth.
at Kansas City, and to be honest, Houston don't show up at Kansas City like ever. So, that being said, I'm going to believe in them this week.
I am too.
And if they still have my man Kelly calling the plays, different team. Mahomes is slightly hurt. That little step with the ankle
that's going
changed
to take
the game
a
for
week
them.
or so to overcome.
When he can't get out and make things happen, that offensive line isn't as strong.
We need J.J. Watt and the rest of the defensive line to step it up.
That's right. Turned down for Watt. Let's go.
Saints at Jaguars.
I am going Saints.
I am too.
Actually, no.
Oh,
I'm going
you're
Jacksonville.
going Jacksonville?
Because
All
it's
right.
in Jacksonville, and I believe in the mustache.
Minshew was almost the reason I went Jaguars, but I'm going.
Just seeing
going
him
with
come
Saints.
out in slow motion, like with the Baywatch hair and the some people to darkness. Man, I'm sold in. That boy's gonna make more Campbell soup money than anybody in the league. I can't wait till he does his Campbell soup commercial with his mom.
Speaking of commercials, we've got Seahawks with Russell Wilson at Browns.
Right now, Russell Wilson, to me, is one of the most polished quarterbacks in the league right now.
Agree.
He is playing with a chip on his shoulder. He is playing at an MVP level. I'm going Seahawks.
I am too.
I'm
Same
impressed,
reason
and I
I'm
think
impressed.
Cleveland is
they're that disarray war
next
again.
week.
They're
If you don't
headed
see
there.
them over there in the trash pile, I'd be shocked. But they might be in my toilet bowl of the week.
The next one reverts back to your trash pile. We have Bengals at Ravens. So I know you're going to be going Ravens.
Yeah.
That's a no-brainer.
That's a. I'm not going to care about game of the week. Yeah.
49ers at Rams.
49ers at the Rams. I think this is the week we see if the 49ers are for real.
I agree. I already gave you my choice in the earlier segment.
Good, because I'm going Rams.
All right, I'm going 49ers.
I want to see those Rams show me what I've been hearing all year about what they're supposed to be. This is the game they got shown up, and they're at home.
This is a game for both of these
Yeah.
teams. Falcons at Cardinals.
I mean, the only reason I'm going with Arizona is because the head coach's girlfriend's hot, and she said that they're going to win. So I'm going Arizona because the rest of that team is trash, but they have more victories in it. Well, they have the same, but they have a tie.
They have a tie.
That's why they're not over there in the
half.
trash pile.
We'll give them 1.5.
And they're a Cardinal, and Lamar's Cardinals, so that's the only reason
Okay.
I'm rooting for them.
Kyler Murray, we got to play taller this week.
Got to play taller.
And
You had to
see it
mention that
come
man's
through.
height, like y'all ain't the same size. Okay.
Yeah. He's actually taller. Cowboys at Jets.
Well,
You know who I picked. So if he picks,
look.
it's another one. I'm not
Look,
giving
no,
you points like
no.
I did for Miami.
No, you don't need to.
This is on you
Look,
if you
I am a
make this
sports
choice.
expert here, man. Look, we haven't proven week after week that we're not just two guys sitting at a table filming in a gym. This is professional at its best. Then some idiot would get up here and just pick the Jets for no reason and somehow fly in a plane if they win next week. So I'm going Jets off the trash pile, baby. Jets, Jets. I'm going New York. Let's go. It's at New York.
It's at New York.
Right now, Dallas is in disarray. I'm going New York. We're talking about firing the coach. Jerry Jones don't know who to pay anymore. Come on, New York.
Who's your quarterback this
Who
week?
cares? Let's go. They got Bell. I'm going Jets.
All righty. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Titans
probably
at
last.
Broncos.
Broncos suck. Titans suck. I'm going Titans.
I am too. We
They're
both
not
have
on my
Titans.
trash pile. That's the only reason I'm picking them.
Steelers at Chargers. This one
is-
I had tough decision.
I did too, and I'm actually going to go against what I would normally do. I'm going Pittsburgh.
I am too. So we both have Steelers there.
And the Monday night game,
Lions at Packers.
my cheeseheads, my team, Green Bay, my squad since I was a kid. Y'all already know.
Yesterday.
Go Pack, go.
I'm going Lions.
That's what
I think-
I would too after they beat your team all up and down the
It's going to
field
be
like that.
retribution for that Dallas loss, but also I think the Lions are for real this year. They've given everyone a challenge,
Yeah, they have.
and I'm going for it.
And we got a couple
Going
teams
through
on
lines.
byes,
So we have the Bills, Bears, Colts, and Raiders on bye this week.
and they'll probably all lose games because them teams are trash too. Look,
No,
we'll
the
be
Bills,
right.
they're winning.
The
Colts
Bills,
are winning.
Yeah, the Bills are winning.
Raiders are now winning.
I think both the Colts and the Raiders will end up in that trash pile toward the end of the year. You know how big the trash piles are going to get by the end of the
We're going to
year?
need a dumpster.
I'm down for
Waste
it.
management.
409 The Heat Sports. We are Mad Sports, and we'll be right back. The Heat Sports presents Mad Sports. We are back
Looking at college.
looking at college, this week 6 recap. Did you enjoy your weekend watching football?
I did. There was not a lot of big games this week as far as the rankings went, but the teams that are at the top showed that they belong there. LSU, Oklahoma, Georgia, Notre Dame, Wisconsin, Penn State, Baylor, Boise
Baylor.
State.
We were just talking about Baylor Saturday.
They
Baylor's
all played
undefeated
huge.
right now.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They all
Baylor's
put up
undefeated.
big wins. But there were some games that were interesting. One, not having much to do with the top rankings, was Texas at West Virginia. Was there cause for concern? I know at the end Texas pulled away,
Yeah.
but for most of that game, West Virginia was in there.
Going into a big game like they have against OU this weekend, you would like, as a Texas team, to come off strong,
Right.
with a big, huge. But
Thankfully, at the end, they got that,
yeah,
a little momentum.
and I got to give it up to the local cat, PNG's finest, the Indian, Roshan Johnson, 21 attempts, 121 yards. He was named Big 12 Newcomer of the Week. Big thing for the freshman. And the cool thing, too, that I heard from the announcers was that the coaching staff talked to him and said, look, when the running backs went down, you're not going to play quarterback this year. You're not going to beat out Ellinger.
Right.
You're not going to beat him out next year, his senior year. But you're going to be the quarterback of the University of Texas. When your coaches tell you something like that, and you're going to have a junior and senior year being quarterback of the University of Texas, but you'll get playing time right now at the running back position and have that same build and frame when you go be quarterback, and they're still working with you as the backup quarterback, I think that's win-win for him.
That's a
right
great skill set to possess.
now. Huge win-win
Yeah,
for him.
he'll be really strong. As far as another game that was really good was number 17 Iowa at number 16 Michigan, and they stayed at the same rankings this week because Michigan pulled it out 10-3
10-3.
to retain their ranking just ahead of Iowa. So that was a really close matchup. SMU pulled it out against Tulsa in overtime.
Saw that.
So 21 SMU's kept their top 25 ranking.
An unranked Texas Tech beat 21 Oklahoma State University in a shootout, 45-35.
That was a good one.
Always a good game when those two teams get together. It's what it is, a shootout. But the big game of the week was number 10 Florida over number 7 Auburn.
Yes.
24-13. Both teams had 4 turnovers in the game, a little sloppy at times. But the thing that really stood out to me was Florida had 398 yards total, 266 in the air, 132 on the ground, while Auburn only had 269 yards total. Florida came in and they came to play.
They're going to have to do that again this week, though, rolling into LSU.
Yeah, and we'll get into that game
Yes.
in a minute. Before we go into the games that are coming up, I want to talk about the 4 main quarterbacks that I'm seeing right now, kind of in the Heisman race, and
Right.
maybe one that's a little outside of the Heisman race. The LSU quarterback, they won 42-6 over Utah State.
Yeah.
It's Utah State.
Doesn't
They're
matter.
supposed to smash
But
them.
6 TDs? Who
Six-
throws 6 TDs?
It had 601 total yards of offense. He had 344 was from him. Right now, on the year, Joe Burrow has thrown 1,864 yards, 22 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Jalen Hurts from Oklahoma has 1,523 yards, 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Tua, from Alabama, 1,718 yards, 23 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, which is a huge stat.
And right there, you just named the top 3 in the Heisman race. With the current votes, Jalen Hurts is in first place with 5 first-place votes. Tua is in second with 3, and Joe Burrow is in third with 2. So it's a very tight race.
And you're going to see Hurts go head-to-head with a guy who's on the outside looking in right now in the Heisman race, but to me still has a chance kind of in there. He's in the mix, depending on what Texas can do. And Sam Ehlinger has 1,448 yards, 7 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's right there in touchdowns with Jalen Hurts.
Right.
And right now it's just the fact that Burrow and Tua are throwing the ball just crazy right now and have all those touchdowns.
And another thing to note, they're on higher-ranked teams.
They're higher-ranked teams.
Which brings more votes. And another quarterback just ahead of Ehlinger is Justin Fields with Ohio State. He's in 5th place in the rankings right now. Again, another one, I mean, 3 TDs
right on the outside
game.
looking in from those top 3.
He's in 5th. And then in 4th is our only non-QB, Jonathan Taylor, running back from Wisconsin.
That's right.
Yeah, which he's running 186 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns. I mean, he's running all over people.
Yeah.
So he's definitely 4 touchdowns in the first half.
Yeah.
And then a 5th one in the game.
On Saturday.
On Saturday.
Huge games this weekend.
But before you switch to the games,
Yeah.
there's a quarterback I want to bring up
Okay.
from way outside.
Please do.
That really impressed me the first time I saw him last year when they played Navy.
Dak Prescott. Oh, sorry. I just figured that's where you were going. You always go Cowboys.
We're taking a little vacation to Hawaii.
My bad. All right. Let's go.
Cole McDonald. He has the stature, 6'4", 220 pounds, and he has an arm. He put up 428 yards and 6 TDs in that first game I saw with him against Navy last year, 59-41 victory. And then against Nevada, 54-3 victory. He had 4 TDs, 0 interceptions, 312 yards.
Cole McDonald. We're going to put him down on people to watch.
He's on my watch list. I don't think he'll get the votes because he plays for Hawaii.
Well, not even for Heisman,
ranked,
though.
But I think
at 6'4", 220 pounds.
Look for the draft. NFL.
Because the NFL is filled with guys that we're kind of really didn't know.
Exactly.
I mean, nobody was calling out Patrick Mahomes' number a few years ago
Even
out of college.
Even though he was putting up huge numbers.
Exactly.
He was playing for Texas Tech. Same thing here with I'm really interested to see, like you're saying, where his career will go. And for those interested, this week will be a test for him because they play Boise State.
That is a big game.
So that'll be a big game. Boise State's ranked 14th currently, so we'll get to see Cole McDonald perform against a ranked team.
I'll be looking out for Mr. Cole McDonald. 6'4", 220 pounds. Let's talk about it. OU versus UT. This is the game Texas needs.
Texas needs this. I'm afraid that our Heisman hopeful is going to lead OU to a victory.
I am.
Our first place.
If I had to pick them, we don't pick college games, but I would have to go Boomer Sooner. And my dad will be very pleased with that. Shout out Daryl Hicks, the big Boomer Sooner himself. OU is just Texas. Even though they're 4-1, and there was a buzzsaw game against LSU, right? The one that they lost. The games like last week against West Virginia, and they've had some other close ones. Even the Oklahoma State gave them a hard time. On the other hand, Oklahoma is just
they're 5-0,
just barreling over people.
Yep.
And they look tough. And Jalen Hurts looks like he's on a mission to me personally this year to prove something.
Right now, he's proving in the votes for the Heisman. So
Totally.
He's holding it down.
Big game. I can't wait. That's always a fun game to watch no matter what. Throw the rankings out, throw the records out. Every year, history's made. Big game. And then, of course, you've got Penn State playing number 17, Iowa. That's going to be a good game. But the big game
if you live in the North.
It's a big game,
It's a big game, regardless.
And we got to give the East Coast people some love.
We'll step outside the SEC.
That's right. A big game coming up, though, and this is a game we're especially interested in because we are going to be out at Fuzzy Tacos in Beaumont with our official Mad Sports live watch game party where we actually watch the game and we will be commentating as if we were there live. So you can tune in and watch the game.
This will be an SEC matchup.
Big time SEC matchup. Number 7 Florida versus number 5 LSU. A totally revamped LSU, in my opinion.
I think Burrows will lead them to victory.
I do too. Burrow just looks on a different level right now as far as his throwing ability and what he does with the ball and the way they are spreading that offense out. If you're a wide receiver or a youngster, you want to go there right now and play because even old LSU wide receivers are saying this is the LSU they wish they could have played for. I'm eager to see this game. This is going to be to me, it's defense versus offense.
This is Florida's chance to show something, though. They're 6-0.
And Florida's defense is strong.
Exactly.
This is really the week their defense has to show.
Right.
And with Florida's been, they haven't put up the numbers points-wise, I think, that LSU has for sure. But their defense is so strong.
Well, they're going to shut Burrows down if they want any shot. One interesting thing of the top 25 rankings is we have a tie at third. Georgia and Ohio.
What do you think about that?
I have no issue with it.
Well,
they're
good.
both
Moving on.
comparable.
No.
Yeah, exactly. I have no issue with that. One's 5-0, one's 6-0.
But I don't understand it. And maybe that's just my peon brain for not understanding the way the rankings go. But how you have it,
it's just a number of votes they receive.
I get it, but I need
It's
you to have an off number of votes then.
Exactly.
Because we can't be coming – this isn't like co-rookies of the year, Jason Kidd, Grant Hill type
1
stuff.
1 through 5 are all tied for what first.
I get it. So you got to have something. When I saw that, I was like –
Don't worry, the schedule's sorted out.
Oh, definitely. And,
in the weeks to come.
Is this going to be the year, every year you think, are we going to have the year where it's just chaos? And it never happens, but I really want chaos one year. I want some chaos.
You want to force the playoffs to grow?
I want them to. We need a year
few
where
more
it's
games.
2-3 teams lose big games. I need some Alabamas to lose too, and some. It's not gonna happen, but I can wish. I want 4 more teams in the playoffs, man. The only way we're gonna get is chaos. So we need some teams to lose this week. We need.
I don't think any of them are going to volunteer for this.
No,
to appease you.
No,
but I think we will see an expansion.
NCAA
eventually.
is not listening to me right now. They're still trying to figure out how not to pay people in California. I'm just saying. Hey, you can reach me at
it was a good show while it lasted.
Mad
but we
Sports Show on Instagram, NCAA. Just call me the Rock from Ballers because I'm going against y'all. Look, it's Mad Sports. We'll be right back with Richard's Rants right after this. We are back, Mad Sports in the building. We're here.
Time for Richard's Rants.
The most controversial and entertaining part of our show. Hey,
it is.
Take it away, my friend.
We're going to jump right into this one.
Jump into it. Full force.
And this is a sensitive subject. In fact, I debated discussing this. But on Richard's Rants, we say what needs to be said, and this needs to be said.
I like it, man. It's you speaking your mind, and it's still a free country last time I checked. So
it's
you
October
go with it.
this month. It's October, and the NFL is wrapped in pink. But it is misguided. Unfortunately, we're all aware of breast cancer. Mm-hmm. It's a horrible disease, and we all know someone that has battled it or is battling it. But raising awareness amounts to basically doing nothing more than making yourself feel good and think that you're doing something good. I know it sounds harsh, but awareness is not the issue. What truly plagues patients is the sheer cost of preventative screening and post-diagnosis treatment. But awareness has led to obliviousness and even to overtreatment. Now, don't get what I'm saying twisted. I'm not saying take the pedal off the gas around the cause, but change the narrative, change the message. Walking a 5K, posting a hashtag, buying a pink product, wearing a pink shirt allows us to mentally check the box that we did something. We did our part. We feel good about ourselves when we essentially did nothing. I'm sitting here wearing a pink shirt. Am I doing anything? Am I curing breast cancer at the moment?
Well, you're better on the eyes now than you were in the Dallas Cowboys shirt. But yeah, you're right. You ain't doing nothing.
I'm going to tell you why. But first, a little history.
Okay.
In 1985, the first Breast Cancer Awareness Month was established by the American Cancer Society and the pharmaceutical company AstraZeneca to increase screenings.
Okay.
It really took off in 1991 when Self Magazine and Estee Lauder launched their campaign. But what is behind the pink veil? In 2005, 3M spent $500,000 on advertising Post-it notes printed with a pink ribbon logo. Sales were nearly double what the company expected, but the campaign resulted in raising only $300,000. They could have just as easily donated the $500,000 to cancer research and would have doubled the amount for treatment.
Money in that pocket.
Misguided.
Gotcha.
On that note, speaking of Post-it notes, more than $6 billion is raised annually for breast cancer awareness. ESPN calculated that for every $100 spent on NFL pink merchandise, only $8 ends up in the hands of scientists for cancer treatment research.
Wow.
Yet, with 30 years of awareness, we are no closer to a cure. Over 300,000 are still diagnosed annually, and over 40,000 die, and that includes men as well. So what are we doing? We wrap everything in pink and sell it with no thought or account of how much or where the funds go. Most products fail to provide any real education or affect change for women's health behaviors. At the end of the month, most have not learned anything about the odds of developing the disease, or what to do if someone receives a diagnosis, or how will someone pay for the exorbitant costs of treatment. Let's change awareness to action. Here's what we can focus on and should focus on. Nationally, and this may sound out there, let's set a deadline for a cure. Sounds simple, but it is effective.
Pharmaceutical companies don't like that. Go
we
ahead.
did that for polio, and for putting a man on the moon. Both happened. Polio was cured, and we landed on the moon.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
No, just kidding. Just kidding. Go
There's
ahead.
no time for jokes.
No, you're right. Go ahead. My bad. My bad. Serious.
Not during the rant section.
My fault.
We're on the moon. So if you want to make a financial contribution, think about this. Reach out to someone going through treatment. It is physically, mentally, and financially draining. You can help by providing meals, childcare, cleaning, transportation, or supplies. Ease the burden on someone going through this horrific battle. But here's where I urge everyone to focus. This is something everybody can do. While there is no guarantee that we will avoid the disease, we can take preventative measures to improve our odds. This is what we should be aware of: prevention. Here are the top 4 measures. Number 4, don't smoke. That includes vaping. Avoid too much alcohol. Number 3, keep your weight in check. Just don't look in the mirror and be aware of your weight. Take action. Awareness is doing nothing, as stated earlier. And number 1, be physically active. Exercise is as close to a silver bullet as we have, according to scientists. So if you want to truly do something, take your money here and buy someone a gym membership. Or meet them to go exercise. Meet them to go walking, running, swimming, cycling. Just move. Be active and do it on a consistent basis. Don't just show up once a year wearing a pink shirt and walk in a 5K. That does nothing to help us fight cancer. If we would all pick one person we know to work out with 3 or 4 times per week, not only would we improve our health and their health, but we would drastically slash the number of cancer cases annually. So change someone's lifestyle and save a life. Unfortunately, most of you will not do this because it requires effort, commitment, work, and actually doing something. And that is why I have to rant about cancer awareness.
Well, this segment is called Richard's Rants, and usually I have a funny rant and I speak my mind and say a little few things, but this week I'm leaving it at what it is, because what you spoke about not only is to the heart, but it's all true, and it is a big month for awareness. So let's do what Richard said this week, and let's be aware in the ways you can be aware. That's Richard's Rants. This is Mad Sports. We'll be right back. 409 The Heat Sports presents Mad Sports, and we are back, and if you look right behind us, you will see it. That's what those boys said on Saturday. Lightning delayed the game for Friday. All it did was delay that butt whipping that Beaumont United got from them boys from Westbrook. The Alumni Bowl, great game. 2 good teams, undefeated. But Westbrook prevails, which a lot of experts thought was going to happen. Westbrook was just looked like the better, faster, stronger team.
But Beaumont United put up a good fight, and part of that that indicates that is if you look at the state rankings after this game, Westbrook actually rose in the rankings. They're now 30th in the state and 182nd in the nation. They moved up 5 spots in the state off of that win.
You always bring up these stats with the rankings, and I had heard somebody say, I can bring up the nation. Dude, 181 in the nation. There is a lot of
there are thousands of high schools.
Tens of thousands.
Right.
There's
to be 182.
There's probably thousands in the state of Texas. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, there's so many high schools.
There are actually over 1,000 in the state
Easily.
of Texas, yes.
So for them to be that high in the rankings is tremendous. Their senior quarterback threw for 371 yards and 5 touchdowns. Johnson, the big senior wide receiver, had 3 touchdown catches. He was a monster in the game. Beaumont United had their chances in the second half to come back. They were down 16 at the half, but they had their opportunities. The defense stepped up, had a couple of 3-and-outs.
Over and over, yes.
Some big stops on defense, but they just couldn't put it together offensively. It seemed like Westbrook just, once they had the lead, they played with it well, and you could just see that it almost as, not that their team was more prepared, because I don't want to say Beaumont United didn't have their team prepared, but it seemed like Westbrook had just this we've been here before mentality.
And this is only Beaumont United's second year.
Exactly.
So they're growing and developing. So as well as they're doing this year, it will be interesting to see how they do next year with 3 years under.
And there's so much pressure put on these high school students. I mean, I even see it in the middle school level when I watch my sons play. There's so much pressure, and we got to remember, even in college, these are kids.
Exactly.
Even the college football, college basketball, these are kids that, college too, they're just coming out, just moving from their house, or these are kids. These are kids with all kinds of drama in their lives, well, the girlfriend and the Facebook and the schoolwork and all this. These are kids that are putting it on the line every Friday underneath those lights to basically appease all us adults and go in and win these games.
Right.
And there's so much pressure put on both of these teams. And this was a big-time game. The lights were on, and Westbrook just overcame.
They showed up, yes.
And
that pressure created diamonds.
They're our team of the week this week. Congratulations, Westbrook.
It's great.
We just keep pushing forward, and Beaumont United keep pushing forward. They still have a chance in their division. Westbrook's now 2-0 in theirs, and they are pressing on.
Yeah, they're undefeated across the board.
These are 2 teams that really have a chance down when it comes to the state playoffs and to see what they can do.
Right. And speaking of another team this week that has a test is Port Arthur Memorial. Mm-hmm. They're 3-2, still a good record, but they're playing New Caney, which is undefeated. So this is an opportunity for them to take a step forward. And as far as for a game of the week this week, 4A, 3A matchup division, we have East Chambers Buccaneers. They're 4-1, and Orangefield Bobcats are 5-0.
That's going to be a good game.
So that'll be a good game. It's the strongest local game we have this week.
Friday Night Lights, but that's our team of the week behind us. Westbrook showed up 46-23 over Beaumont United. This has been 409 The Heat Sports. As always, we hope you enjoyed this week's episode. We will be back next week with a brand new episode. We thank everyone that's been tuning in. You can follow us on Instagram and on Twitter now at Mad Sports Show. MADD Sports Show. It's that easy. You'll see us tweet. You'll see us on Instagram. Follow us. Tell your friends. Tell your people about us. We hope you're enjoying the show. I am David Green Bay Packers Hicks.
And Richard, Dallas Cowboys getting back on the winning track this week.
Couldn't
against
even
the
get
Jets.
it out of his mouth.
James.
Bandwagon Hicks over here. Let's go Jets. If you got Jets gear at the house, holla at me, and I'll put it with mine that I have because I've been a Jets fan my whole life.
Since today.
Yeah, we'll be back next week. Mad Sports. Holla.